This Utah's best coverage of the Utes, Cougars, Jazz, and Mammoth. Here we go. From the guys who have been there for all the biggest moments in Utah sports history. You're listening to DJ and PK on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
DJ and PK reminding you to join Scotty G Thursday from noon to 3 at Minky Couture in Layton. The best blanket ever is also the best Valentine's gift ever. DJ and PK, time for the question of the morning. The Jazz have won 2 in a row. Are you starting to worry about them losing their first round pick? No.
I am.
Because I think they considered it when they traded for Jaren Jackson Jr., and they've got to hide 2 All-Stars now and lose to a bunch of teams who don't have 2 All-Stars. And I think they'll do it by sitting guys for long stretches of games.
Yeah, but what about when George comes back? He's capable of going for 30 in a blink of an eye.
I think they're going to shut down a lot of guys because I have been told repeatedly they are not losing their draft pick.
Yeah,
if they play these guys, you said yesterday, they could go 500 down the stretch easily, and I do not doubt that. I believe that 100%. And if they go 500 down the stretch, I believe they will lose the draft pick.
All of a sudden, they got a good team.
I know. I totally agree. And I think also a lot of guys who it was a stretch to see them as a starter in the NBA, I really do believe that there's enough of a talent gap that when you're the starter and you're asked to play 30 minutes against other starters, you just can't do it. But when you're asked to play 20 minutes against the backup, you can do that. You are that good. And I think some of these guys they've drafted have come along and made progress.
Oh, man.
And so if they're playing everybody, do I think they can go 500 at this time of year against this schedule? Yeah, they got 7 teams left on their schedule who are flat out terrible. Maybe it's 1 less now because when I counted up yesterday, I was counting Sacramento. So maybe it's 6.
Okay, but you take Portland tonight. Portland's coming in from Minnesota.
You're right, 100%. And
Jazz are sleeping in their own beds.
Nice. Did you hear that when you were covering the Lakers for the Daily Breeze, or is that a thing you heard when you came to Utah?
It was mostly an NCAA tournament thing. They're sleeping in their own beds. And I thought, don't bring the beds with them if it's that important. They got those big trucks for football.
See? Load them up. Let's go. Throw some mattresses in there, some pillows. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, the Lakers didn't need any.
Yeah, I didn't worry about that.
They could have slept standing up. They were horses, those guys, the way they ran and the way they played. So they always had a talent advantage back in the 80s when I was down there. But you look at George and Bailey. They can give you 50, and no one's going to bat an eye.
That's true.
And you're playing 6 teams, and I haven't doped it out.
Right.
That suck.
Yep.
And they're going to suck even more.
And then to just
they said a couple of their guys.
Right.
Man, I'm nervous.
Yes. They've got, when they come back from the break, they actually start on the road with a couple games. But they're at Memphis right away. And I'm not even counting Memphis as one of the terrible teams. But that's a winnable game. Well, I've got a separate group over here that's got Washington and Indiana and New Orleans. They play New Orleans twice at the end of February. At home.
They suck.
I know. When I'm talking about these 6-7 games.
And you're going to have Jaren Jackson going back there. We saw what Rob Wright did when he went back to Texas.
They haven't played the Wizards yet. They still have to play the Wizards twice.
Twice?
Yes.
Wizards sitting everybody.
I know. The Wizards, actually, I was watching more. All the talking heads all day were feeding off that whole conversation that we had yesterday morning about the comments. We were the only ones who commented on the comments, right?
Right.
And I wonder what PTI would say, and it was totally predictable. Kornheiser went right to Utah sent him in the fourth quarter. He said, the Wizards traded for 2 guys I actually know who they are, and they immediately said, they're injured, they're not playing.
Right, and that's the hometown team.
And that's his hometown team. And he's like, there's lots of teams in the NBA that aren't even lifting a finger to win.
Right.
Yep.
So that's right there. That's 4 wins off the top of my head. Tonight, Memphis, New Orleans twice, and I don't even know any of the other teams.
Right. Well, they have New Orleans again in April. So
right, I said New Orleans twice.
No, 3 times. They have them twice at home, February 26th and 28th, and in New Orleans, April 7th.
Right, but maybe just dumb luck, you don't sweep them. But you're still going to get 2.
If the Jazz are playing everybody and playing hard, I think they sweep them.
I know, but they're not going to.
No, I think they're going to sit guys.
So, I want to make sure I'm clear here. So they sit guys.
Uh-huh.
They could have sat guys last night and still won that game.
Yes, that's
so
true.
they sit guys against New Orleans.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But they still can win two out of three.
I see where you're going. Yes. Yeah, you're not off. You're
I mean, obviously, if they played all their guys, they had an excellent chance to win three out of three.
Right.
But I'm assuming, as you said, they sit guys. But I still see them getting a couple of wins, even with sitting guys, because you have guys like George and Bailey. And I'm telling you, hey, Chicho, pay attention here. This is an old movie, but it's a Christmas classic. If they have George and Bailey, which means they have George Bailey, what does that equal? It's A Wonderful Life. Because the movie The Wonderful Life, who is the lead character?
George Bailey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and use that on your family up there. Well, you're from the north end of this area, right? When you get back up there over the weekend, go ahead and use that with your family. And they'll say, wow.
Use it on the Saturday show too. It'll be a new audience. Credit PK. Don't be a thief.
You don't have to credit me.
Yes, you do.
No, you
PK
don't.
Likes you right now. He's not into plagiarism. So you can credit PK.
I'm allowing him. I am taking this young man under my wing because a couple years back I got in a traffic accident and I didn't have any wheels. And he volunteered to take me home after a Utah football game. But I told him, just take me to the park and ride just over off the freeway there by 33rd, and my wife would come. But he was willing to take me all the way.
Had a kid, Chicho.
All the way. That's why this kid's going to go places.
Haven't washed my car since.
When I'm pushing up daisies, he very well could be in his chair.
There you go.
Right. So go ahead. You can say, with the Jazz, George Bailey, It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah. Those guys can go for 50, and no one's going to bat an eyelash.
No, it's true.
I am nervous about this team blowing it.
And that's why I was talking to you a couple days ago and putting it up on social media. They're going to need to sit 8 guys. I get it. Because these other teams, how low was the bar with Sacramento? The number one, they're not any good. And number two, they sat 6 of their 7 leading scorers. And you count the fact they traded one of them away in midseason. They were without 7 of their 8 leaders this year because they traded Dennis Schroeder away. They didn't run. Well, DeMar DeRozan, I don't know who he pissed off, but he had to play. But other than that, they didn't run anybody out there average 10 points a game. That's not a high bar.
I know. So
that's
the Jazz got more talent.
I know. And they're going to have to sit guys.
Yeah,
but I think
they become
the
lightning rod for tanking. All of a sudden, you look up tanking, and you got the Jazz logo on there. When it's been done for 20, 30 years. It's a joke.
I know.
And so what are they going to do? They're going to fine him? Is Adam Silver going to be sitting courtside with a stern look on his face?
I've been led to believe that they are determined to keep the draft pick.
Of course
and that
they
will
are.
sit people, and if they get fined, so be it.
But now it becomes obvious off the top of my head, and all the deals that were made, they got the best player of the entire league.
Yeah, right. Now that it's all said and done, when you look at all the guys who moved in any deal across the league, if you rank them, there's only one guy who's Defensive Player of the Year and a 2-time All-Star and
Anthony
7
Davis,
feet
but he's
tall.
not playing.
He's not playing, yes.
But you can argue that he's a better player.
I don't think he'll ever be that again. The injuries are just torn him apart.
I'm going with Jaren Jackson.
Right. Maybe.
And in 3 games, in limited time, he's doing exactly what he's done. And if he received 10 minutes more playing time,
assume he'd score
obviously,
30. Yeah, he'd score 30. The only person who can keep him under 25 right now is Will Hardy by subbing him out.
And you got Locke talking while I'm on tomorrow, talking about how much better he's made the defense and all that stuff, and in just 3 games.
Yes.
Are they going to sit him in the first game against Memphis? And you won't be gassed. You will have had a week off.
Rest. Well, I got to tell you, he's exhausted from Cancun.
I would send him to Mexico and say, Jaren, drink as much tap water as you can.
Ooh. Montezuma's revenge, people.
2-3 weeks.
Jared's just lying on the floor of the hotel. Oh, my stomach feels terrible. Look out, I got to go again.
We were down there, and we went to some excursion. We're on some remote place, and I think we bought some pie or something. And in the night, I wake up, and I am just all over
devastated.
The place. Oh, I am making noises left and right. My wife gets up to help me. I go back, and I did it all in the tub, so you just flush it and clean it, right? Obviously, I vomited. And then a couple hours later, she did it. And I slept through the whole thing.
No.
I didn't hear a thing. She got all mad.
So you got sick to your stomach, and she's up. PK, can I help you? Can I? Are you okay?
Right.
I mean, while she gets sick, you're,
But I didn't hear it. I didn't hear anything. I slept through the whole thing. I felt worse than worse. I was already bad. And that day, we barely. I mean, we're paying for this, right? And I think it was her 40th birthday or something. And we sat by the pool, just lying there like two corpses. And then it was that night, we couldn't go out on the town or anything, but it was Game 7 between the Celtics and the Lakers. So I just sat, I was out horizontal watching the game. And then the next day, it was our last day, so we forced ourselves to do some stuff. And I think it might have been the World Cup was playing that day. So the streets, we went to like street fair, and of course everyone was all
everybody's
excited.
watching.
Yeah. But yeah, so they got to do something because this guy's come in seamlessly and put up the numbers that he's been putting up without a ball-dominant guard in terms of shooting because George has been out for most of the time, and he's putting up the same numbers that he puts up in limited time. If he got all the carries, the numbers would be astounding.
Thank you, Damian. Thank you, Gordon. The gift that keeps on giving.
I talked with you during the season.
If they play their top 8 guys, then you're right. They are going to win games, and they will be at risk. Even if they still end up with one of the 8 worst records, there's always the risk someone's going to hop you, and you're going to slide back a spot or two, and they could lose the pick.
Right, because there's so many teams that are tanking.
I have tried in a conversation with someone I assume is connected and knows what's going on. Say, well, if, and it's just like, they will have one of the top 5 worst records. Talk about something else.
Yeah, but that was before the trade.
It was that. So I'm not going to hold them to the top 5 anymore, but I'm still holding them to the not going to lose the pick.
And when was that?
It was the first third of the season.
Okay, had George blossomed to the level he had?
Not to this lesson, but he was playing very well. I think that was the thing that brought it up. Okay. Now, I don't know that he'd, done his 35 at that point.
Ace Bailey's now playing consistent?
Ace Bailey has absolutely improved since that. But I'm counting those. When I say they have to sit 8
Williams
guys.
Is better?
They could probably play Cody. When I count 8 guys.
If he's your number one guy, you're going to lose.
Right. When I count 8 guys, I don't have him in the top 8. I do think sitting Collier is going to have to happen because against teams late in the year that don't want to defend, a guy who's as good at getting in the lane as him.
Right down.
Yes. He last night. He missed the shot last night, but he blew past 2 guys in the open court because the Kings weren't running, and he's fast with the ball.
With the ball, he's very fast.
Yeah.
They didn't have the roaring lion either.
John
Conchar.
Conchar is a guy we may see play. Elijah Harkless is going to have to start playing 25 minutes. That's what's going to have to happen. Blake Hinson, the legendary Blake Hinson.
I don't know who he is.
He's bounced around Lakers, Warriors, Blazers, and I know that because I looked it up because I didn't know who he was.
Is he related
either.
to Roy Hinson?
But he's on the bench now with the. I don't know any of that about him. We'll go to Wikipedia during the break and educate ourselves. But he's bounced around. He's on at least his 4th team. He played at Pitt. He's on the bench last night. DNP coach's decision. Well, he's going to need to get played a lot of minutes. Coach's decision here. If they're going to keep the draft pick, because their top 7, 8 guys are going to beat some of these bad teams that are then watered down.
Okay, man, I'm nervous.
I get that, but I think they're going to sit 8 guys. And if they don't, they're going to win games. It's a jeopardy, and your nervousness will be justified. I don't think they're going to do that, but time will tell. And everything I have, I don't have it from Austin. I don't have it from Will Hardy. So the people who are actually going to make this decision, they haven't told me anything, but people I think are connected have. So we'll see how this goes. DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.